oh, the Constitution is a white man's Constitution.
Yeah, it's a quite radical sentiment.
Sure, it's a radical sentiment, but it's protected by the First Amendment.
No doubt.
It's something
you and I will agree on
right?
that. He has a right to say it.
Right.
But also, my opinion would be we as conservatives need to signal where that radical ideology is present. And I don't understand, these professors, we're not misquoting them.
Yeah. No, I understand
all this
that.
stuff is, we're just making
but
them
would
more
you agree
famous.
that it's taken out of context, though?
But that's not my fault if someone takes something out of context.
But
so if I says your
providing
sweatshirt
the
is red,
database.
it's not anyone's fault except the interpreters.
Sure, but you're providing this platform for people to spread this misinformation.
Not necessarily.
You don't think it's...
Hey my love, so you're welcome back to my channel. It's your girl BB Reviews. Guys, I'm back again for another reaction video. In today's video, I bring to you Charlie Cake. The title of this is Brainwashed Student Brought to Tears After Confronting Charlie Cake. Brainwashed students brought to tears after confronting Charlie Cake. Guys, I can't wait for us to watch this particular one, and I can't imagine how the student came to tears after confronting Charlie Cake, right? So thank you so much for watching. So without further ado, without wasting much of our time, let's get right into this video.
Personally, I'm someone that really values free speech, right, and like an uninhibited engagement among people that disagree. And it's really unsettling to me that you have this website, professorwatchlist.org, right?
Yep.
That basically tells conservative students that, hey, these professors are very liberal, and you should avoid them.
It doesn't say avoid them.
The official statement I read said it should
Just to expose.
Okay, fine, expose. But even in that, I feel like that colors thought, so that it really teaches conservative people
Do you think when a professor says something like the hurricane victims of Houston deserve to die because they supported Trump, do you think that professor should be called out for that?
I think, yes, it's important to call them out, but I don't think it's...
So that's what our project does.
Oh, I understand what you're intending to do, right? But how it's received is it's something where it's really, you're coloring their speech to where it's not free speech.
No, but
you're
we're not
telling them
saying
what to do
it's
beforehand.
not Professor Blacklist or Professor Hitlist.
But
we're not saying they should shut up or be fired.
But for example, so this one professor, I think his name was Alberto Ponce.
Okay.
I was reading the list and it said that he was, basically he was saying these things, and he was saying that, oh, the Constitution is a white man's Constitution.
Yeah, it's a quite radical sentiment.
Sure, it's a radical sentiment, but it's protected by the First Amendment.
No doubt.
It's something
you and I will agree on
right?
that. He has a right to say it.
Right.
But also, my opinion would be we as conservatives need to signal where that radical ideology is present. And I don't understand, these professors, we're not misquoting them.
Yeah. No, I understand
all this
that.
stuff is, we're just making
but
them
would
more
you agree
famous.
that it's taken out of context, though?
But that's not my fault if someone takes something out of context.
But
so if
you're
I says your
providing
sweatshirt
the
is red,
database.
it's not anyone's fault except the interpreters.
Sure, but you're providing this platform for people to spread this misinformation.
Not necessarily.
You don't think it's a platform where people can spread misinformation?
You can say the same thing about the internet or Twitter or Facebook. It's not incumbent on the person who creates the platform to be responsible for how people interpret it.
Of course, but a lot of times when there are people kind of discussing this thing and they hold a similar view, then it creates something that's akin to blacklist. At least that's how I feel.
Okay.
That it's a lot like, the sentiment reminds me of something like McCarthyism.
So
you're creating this list of people.
Well, okay. So first of all, McCarthy never published his list.
Sure.
So we have a list and we're very public about it.
Yeah.
Secondly, McCarthy called for the termination of people. We've never called for any termination of any professors.
But would you agree that you can incite some degree of violence against those?
No, not necessarily. No, none whatsoever. I mean, the same would be said if a news reporter. By the way, all these professors we have on there were reported on by other news outlets.
Yeah.
So we cited them.
Yeah, I understand.
So why not be mad at Huffington Post for all their articles they read about?
I guess my main question to you is basically with all this, right? My feeling is that it inhibits this free engagement because it tells people beforehand that, hey, this is what that person believes.
I would disagree. I think it encourages more speech.
Let me ask. All right, so my question is, how can you guarantee that this is not going to inhibit free speech?
You can never guarantee it. But we're using our right to free speech to encourage more speech.
Are you encouraging more speech, or are you silencing that speech?
How are we silencing it?
You're silencing it in the sense that you're telling students that, hey, this person has this preconceived notion, right? So you're giving students this idea that, hey, this professor thinks these things, he believes these things.
So then challenge them
when they
and
take
debate
that
them.
class, they're not going to go into it with this open mind, being these free thinkers. They're going to go into it thinking, hey, this professor has this ideal. I should know that when I engage.
But what's wrong with that?
I think the thing that's wrong with that is
maybe they're more aware.
That's literally antithetical to free speech, would you say?
No, it's not.
I think it's important to engage with someone and rationalize their ideas.
Of course.
Instead of viewing them beforehand.
So when a professor says something like the hurricane comment, which is a real something the United States press said, or from University of Houston, or when the Georgetown law professor a couple weeks ago said, you know, we want Brett Kavanaugh's family to die. They should be made famous when they say stuff like that.
I don't think they should be made famous, though, because then you're inciting violence against them. You're
How are you inciting violence?
You're inciting this negative sentiment.
It's like saying a
towards them,
newspaper
right?
incites violence when they cover anything.
But would you agree with me in saying there's a significant difference between a newspaper that's a public outlet and something like TPUSA and something like this, where you have a bunch of like-minded people, right? So I don't know. My feeling is just that it creates this environment where speech is not equal.
I appreciate the sentiment. Yeah. You're being so respectful.
And I appreciate you coming here. And it was nice talking to you.
You too, man. Thank you.
Okay, guys. So looking at this particular content, I don't have much to say. But if we look at these professors, most of all these professors are laborers. Yeah, they're from the left, and most of the times they are always very arrogant and they look down on the conservative ones, right? So most of all these professors, they are liberals and they are from the left, and they tend to use a lot of negative word against conservative and especially people who believes in the right thing. So guys, I really hope, and this is me urging you, whenever you see such professors, it's high time we fish them out. It's high time we stop hiding them. Let's fish them out. Let's get to know who are all those professors who always, you know, who don't believe in the right thing, who don't believe in the conservative, you know, people who don't believe in the truth and all that. It's high time we get serious about them and we fish them out. Now, one of these professors are those one who talk about the hurricane victim supporting Trump that has to die. Guys, there are a lot of things that is happening, and I feel that we actually know the right thing. So let's be very, very mindful of professors like that, and you know, let's try to stop hiding them. Let's bring them out to the light. Let's push them out so that people can be able to differentiate between such professors and the good ones. I don't have much to say, but I really want us to look into this thing very well, and let's be let's open our eyes and know what we are doing, right? There are a lot of things happening and we actually need to get things done the right way. I don't have much to say, but I need you guys comments. I need your comments in the comment section below. It's still your girl BB here First React, and you're welcome to my channel. So guys, if you haven't subscribed, do well to hit the subscribe button, like this video, give us a thumbs up. We've come to the end of today's video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.